think because it's been a while since I did a full band gig, an element of pressure with it being a local show and having people there who've seen me before, so they've either got expectations or you feel like you should bring something fresh to the table. There's a lot of people there who hadn't seen me before, and the crowd were mint. People were like at the front singing the lyrics back, and they were like on metal gate at the front, and I was like, this is really fun. I actually felt like I belonged up there, and it's not often I can say that. Like, I do enjoy performing, but sometimes when the audience aren't really reciprocating that same feeling, you're kind of thinking, are they enjoying this? Like,
hello and welcome to the Crescendo podcast, where we highlight upcoming and exciting artists and bands from the UK and beyond. My name is Trevor. Welcome and thanks for tuning in. This is the Crescendo podcast, episode 11. Folk music has always been rooted in storytelling, but every now and then, an artist comes along who reshapes that tradition. In this case, folk Gothic music. Well, it sounds pretty fresh and I really enjoy it. That's why I'm here today with Amelia Coburn, hailing from Middlesbrough, where her music blends poetic songwriting with distinctive, almost outwardly atmospheres. That's a good word. With her album for 2024, Between the Moon and the Milkman, and her single Something Wild, which was released last year, with exciting supporting slots on the horizon, which is very exciting. She's quickly becoming somebody big to watch, especially in the Northeast and also in the UK in general. So Amelia, welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
thanks for having me.
How's your day been?
Good, busy, nice and sunny, so can't complain.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Like for anybody listening you for the first time, your music and that kind of stuff, like what would you say would be Amelia? What is Amelia Coburn?
What is Amelia Coburn? Even I don't really know the answer to that question, but I'd like to say that I write songs that are, I guess, almost go against the grain in a way. I've never been bothered about having a hit per se. I just want to tell stories or build worlds. A lot of it is rooted in the dark or the macabre or maybe just slightly unsettling or strange. That's why I call it Gothic. It's not exactly like horror music, but I've always been drawn to the things that aren't in the popular zeitgeist or like in the, at least in the pop music sphere, you know, writing about unusual subject matter, I guess. Mm-hmm. That's what Amelia Coburn is in the music sense anyway.
Yeah, but what's Amelia in the person then?
I'm a nightmare.
What do you mean?
I just like of me as a person, it's funny, isn't it? Because people often think they know you when they like listen to music.
Yeah.
It's almost like that parasocial relationship. And there is a lot of me in it. It's not like a huge different persona, but there's definitely things that I would like. Even posting on social media isn't really me as a person. Like if I wasn't a musician, I wouldn't be on Instagram.
Yeah.
It feels so strange having to do that. So yeah, I do think, and confidence as well. People think I'm this really confident person because I am pretty confident on stage, but like off stage, that's just not really who I am. So you have to sort of, I'm always myself, but there's definitely like a divide between the musical self and me as a human.
Oh yeah, so you would say then you're like not quiet, but just reserved most of the time.
Right, it depends who I'm with. Like with close friends, I'm not quiet.
Yeah.
Even as
of course.
I was like the quiet one in the class. I never liked putting my hand up. I never went on stage, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not doing this podcast, I wouldn't be posting this much, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to do things that you wouldn't normally do for work. And
Yeah. I mean, this is a passion project for now, but it will become work, hopefully. But maybe. See how it goes. But I mean, when people listen to your music, like what would you like them to? What do you like them to think in the first instance?
I'd like them to think it's different. I don't want it to be that kind of easy listening music where people would just think it's generic and relax to it. I want people to go, what the hell is this? Almost. I'd actually rather, I've always said I'd rather people have a visceral dislike for music than just like, oh, she's okay. You know, I don't mind dividing opinions in that sense. But I don't know, people take different things from music. Like, I guess, how do you feel when you listen to it? You know, everyone's so different and it evokes different emotions for different people. So as long as people are engaging with it and listening to it, even if they're not enjoying it, like people listening to our work, and that's always a bonus. Like having listeners itself is great, even if you don't have like Radio 1 and number 1 hits, that's still, like there's still people out
Mm-hmm.
there who listen to her music and engage with it.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I went, well, I listened to music for a while since I came here, but the first time I went to the St. Mary's Cathedral, Middlesbrough, to watch you and watch Robin as well, which was one of the first few people I interviewed as well. Like,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah. She's a part of the band as well.
Yeah, so I knew Robin's music. I hadn't seen her live, but I knew her on the scene, and we did a songwriting residency in Stockton together.
Yeah.
And I love her music. And I was looking for a keyboard player to sort of dep some festival dates during the summer when my original keyboard player couldn't make the dates. And I was always thinking of Robin, but I thought maybe she wouldn't want to do it because she's got her own solo career. But we asked her anyway, and she was up for it, and it's been the best decision ever because I think it works for both of us. We get on really well, so it's nice having a friend like who I get on with on tour. But I think it'd be nice for Robin to do more gigs in terms of like not just her own gigs, but also with us. Like, I think before she joined the band, she'd done her own gigs a few times that year. But and it's also been great for me having like another woman in the band, and she's incredible. She's an amazing songwriter, but like the way she arranges things, she's very intelligent and very talented. So all the band are great, but it's been great having Robin on board.
Yeah, cool. I mean, her music is amazing. Like we went basically to watch her EP release as well, and that was crazy. Like live as well,
sound.
that was mad. Like the sound and everything. Not taking away anything from you, but
no, it was very different. I think that's the brilliant thing. And I'd never been in competition with anyone, but
no,
I don't even. Me and Robin both know that we're very different, even though we're both like young women. And we've often said people, we've got long hair, we wear eyeliner, but in terms of music, it's so different, and it has similarities. We both are interested by different, like kind of. I think Robin's got a similar brain to me, where we get hyper fixated on random things. But her sound is epic, and I love it, and it's nice being able to like see other people in the same scene doing their own thing and doing really well from it.
Mm-hmm.
The most random thing I've done is probably I lived in Slovenia for 2 months when I was 19 for no reason. I did a bungee jump there again for no reason. Maybe that's quite random because everyone was like, "Why are you going to Slovenia?" I lived on a farm for 2 months.
Yeah. Ooh, like so you surely like traveling then.
Yeah, I do. I study languages at university, so it's always been a big part of my life.
Like, I mean, let's talk about your life, to be fair. Like the recent stuff that you've been posting, like I'm on a hike, like I'm somewhere. Like, where have you recently gone? Like
I'm on a hike. That is told me. So when you ask what is Amelia Coburn, it is just I'm on a hike. That's where your email will find me.
Yeah. And you see, your music is so like adventurous, and the storytelling is there. Like you base your songs on like anything. Like, I mean, go on.
You can write about anything, I guess, which is why it's a nice thing. And whenever you have a creative block, you just have to think, I can literally write about anything. But yeah, most recently I was in Robin Hood's Bay, which is like a little seaside village just near Whitby. And I decided to go. I've always found I write better when I'm in a new environment and somewhere fresh, and I've not got the distractions of my dad ringing me, for example. So I took myself off there, and I usually I love to walk anyway, but when I'm having a bit of a moment where I'm just, you've sat working for hours and you just need to think, a lot of my ideas come from that time away from work. And I think for most creatives, your most valuable time is when you're not actually writing. It's when you're like something else, and that's when your ideas come. So that's why I love walking. I've always loved walking in the countryside, being from the North Yorkshire Moors, but I think walking is just the best. You never feel bad after a walk.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the case, to be fair. Like I like walking all the time. Like sometimes you can't finish the day without walking. That's a thing for me.
Yeah, like you need to I feel like when I haven't got out of the house, I can really feel it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, good question. Like, you've been doing music for a while now. Like, can you go back to like even before you started doing music, like your childhood? Like, how was that like, and like how did it shape your music identity?
Yeah, I had a really good childhood. I'm very lucky. My parents were both very supportive of whatever endeavor I wanted to do. They did get sick of me eventually because I was, very not hyperactive, but a short attention span where I'd want to learn piano for a week, then I'd want to learn violin, and then I'd give it up. I wasn't, I didn't really stick with much. But I had a great childhood. My dad is really none of my family or my parents are like singers or can play an instrument, but my dad is a huge music. I want to say fan, but more like anorak. Like he's obsessed with music. I grew up with like record collections, CD collections. Every
Yeah.
time doing anything like driving or cooking, even to this day, always has music on. So I was like kind of brought up with a really rich background of different genres, like from classical to punk. I was 12 years old listening to like the Sex Pistols. And I think that actually
Yeah.
was great because I had so much different musical knowledge from a young age because of my dad. And it's definitely helped my writing. And I did a lot of musical theatre growing up, so I didn't play an instrument really. Like I said, I tried violin and recorder when I was about 10, and that didn't stick. But I did a local amateur dramatics thing, and I was really good at singing, and I loved acting and dancing, but I didn't really have the confidence, which is probably why I didn't end up doing that as a career, because I just sort of gradually I did it for fun, but I think I didn't have like the confidence in myself to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But would you say like confidence now, like when you're doing music and that kind of thing, when did you start like properly doing music, and like when do you think that kind of confidence like came out?
I think confidence is like a constantly evolving and growing thing, and it's sometimes there, sometimes it's not. I don't think some days I feel really confident, and then the next day I don't feel confident at all. So it's hard to say, but I think because I have been doing it so long, like you say, especially live performing, I feel very confident on stage a lot of the time because of it's just practice. I've been doing it for ages. It's like when you learn to drive, the more you do it, the more confident you become. I still don't feel like a confident writer. I still don't really believe in myself in that sense. Yeah, it's really hard to define confidence, but I guess I was very shy on stage when I first began at like 15, 16. But then I think getting the band definitely helped having confidence.
Yeah.
And yeah, getting, like, a lot of acclaim for my album made me realize, like, you know what? I'm actually not that bad at this, like, there's definitely worse people out there, like, I know I can sing. I'll always if someone says I can't sing, then I'll be like, "Well, you're wrong. I know I can." But whether I and I think the problem is you're not always gonna please people, so when you do get those comments being like, "Oh, she's shite," I don't
Mm.
think I say it on the podcast.
Oh no, you're not. No.
It's kind of hard because you try not to listen to those, and yeah, confidence is a funny thing.
Yeah, it is, and self doubt as well. Like when
Yeah.
you're writing songs, and what's the most surprising idea that came up when you're writing a song?
Ooh, I don't
Mm.
know. It's hard to say because I think every idea is almost a surprise because you never
Mm.
go in with, like, a preconceived idea. You try and
Yeah.
write out some one thing and then something else will come, so I think every song is almost like a blessing because I kind of go in it's the closest thing you can get to magic is creating something because you go in with nothing, completely blank, and then you come out of that day with a fully fledged song, and you don't know where that song's gonna take you, and you're like, "Where
Mm.
did that come from? Like, did my mind really make that?" Like, I
Yeah.
thought I could write another song, and then I've just gone and wrote one, and usually when I write a song, I usually know if it's gonna be good or not. Like, I kind of finish it and I go, "That I like that, that's good," or I finish it and I go, that needs work." It's fun
Hmm.
to have a sixth sense about something, but yeah, I don't know what my most surprising idea has been really, because sometimes a song can take me years to finish too, so it'd be
Yeah.
like loads of little ideas that
Yeah.
you can have a chord structure that's sat for 4 years, and then all of a sudden you'll go, "Oh, I feel like I finally got an idea for that now." It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of influences, music influences, or other things have like been put into you? And like, I'm gonna do folk music now. Like, why folk in the first place?
I didn't really choose folk, to be honest. It was something that I
Mm.
got put in as a category. Because, like I say, I listen to a lot of like punk music, indie
Yeah.
music. I think I applied for the Young Folk Awards when I was 19, and somehow I got to the final. And one of my songs that I applied with was a cover of David Bowie, who was, famously not a folk singer.
Yeah.
But I guess folk is such a broad term anyway.
Yeah.
It's maybe acoustic roots music that's played on an acoustic instrument. Not always, you can get electro folk for sure.
Yeah.
Storytelling lyrics. I think the sound of my voice is quite Celtic and folky, like, it's definitely not a
Yeah.
rock hard voice,
No.
and I pluck the ukulele, and I think that combination just puts it into the folk category, but when I play with the band and we play, like, more indie stuff, it's definitely not, like, indie rock, but there's elements of other music. I think folk, though, yeah, it came from me being an acoustic singer, and there are inspirations from folk music in there for sure, like Nick Drake and Joni Mitchell and Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
Need that folk music influence in there. It's just something that actually came later in life because I didn't start listening to that kind of music till I was much older, whereas the music I listened to as a child was very different to that. And my dad is not a lot of the folk musicians that I meet at festivals, you know, they're raised on this kind of tradition and they know all songs, and I'm like, I've never been to a folk club. I've not tried to like about mine and disasters. It's just not. It's not what I was brought up on. But it's very interesting to find out about it, and it's really fascinating.
But who was the first person that told you like you should do this seriously, and that's your sound? You should do this.
I think Andy Johnson, who was still to this day one of my really close friends, and he was my original manager from the age of 16. But I say manager in a loose term. He definitely managed me, but when he first took me on, it was more like I was a 16-year-old girl who was getting paid pennies for gigs, and he was like, "You're good enough to make a lot more money from this. Can I help you? I've just quit my job. I've got some free time on my hands." And Andy has always been the person to like believe in me from the start the most. Obviously, my parents, of course, too, but they didn't know the music industry like Andy did. I'm really grateful for Andy. Most the things I've done to this day are thanks to him in some way. He applied me for the Folk Awards, for example, and forged my signature because I didn't know he'd applied. He helped me get my producer for my first album and helped me write and find my voice. And even to this day, like I say, he's no longer my manager because he kind of wants to focus on his own thing now. But he's been a really great help to me. And I think I wouldn't have done music full time if it wasn't for him being like, "You should do this."
Yeah, you should do this. Yeah, this is. You can't keep on going to like cafes and whatnot, just playing and just not being,
You know what? The thing is, I probably could have done that and made more money than I am now, but it would have been so extraordinary, you know? Having people not properly.
I don't know. Yeah.
The pub gigs were great. I made a lot of money when I was a teenager from doing pubs and weddings, but I'd hate to do that now because I'm used to people, listening to me. So yeah.
Yeah. You say like, people get used to listening to you and that kind of thing. Like you recently played in Stockton Calling as well. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but I know some people were there and they're like a lot of first time listeners as well, especially doing like festivals like that. Like how was that? How was Stockton Calling for you?
It was brilliant. I was weirdly really nervous for that gig. I think because it'd been a while since I did a full band gig, and also there's an element of pressure with it being a local show and having people there who've seen me before. So they've either got expectations or you feel like you should bring something fresh to the table. But like you said, there's a lot of people there who hadn't seen me before. And the crowd were mint. Like we walked on stage and we played the first song, Sleepy Town, and people were like at the front singing the lyrics back, and they were like on the metal gate at the front. And I was like, this is really
crazy.
Fun. Yeah, I actually felt like I belonged up there, and it's not often I can say that. Like I do enjoy performing, but sometimes when the audience aren't really reciprocating that same feeling, you're kind of thinking, are they enjoying this? Like, am I doing a good job?
Yeah.
Whereas that gig, I was just, the whole band, we all came off and we were like, that was really good. We all performed really well. And I think the audience definitely helped with that, being a local Northeast, Northerners. It's always a great audience. So,
it's always the same, yeah.
It's a great festival as well. It just to show, like, you get huge bands from all over the country, but also really top quality local artists and the kind of different venues that are around Stockton, and it brings everyone out, and it's long may it continue. Like it's a really good thing to have.
Do you remember your first live show, like with a band?
With a band? Yeah, it was Glasgow. There was only about 25 people there. That was our first band gig, I think. That was well, actually, no, I tell a lie there, because I did have like a few different formations of a band that isn't the band we have today, which I played at my Christmas show in Stockton, and that was with usually Bruce Rollo, who plays with the Wildcats of Kilkenny on double bass. He's really great player, swings it round and stuff.
Yeah.
And Bob Surgener, who plays guitar, brilliant guitarist and lovely. They're all lovely. And sometimes had like different keyboard players. And Andy, who I mentioned before, he sometimes played like cajon. So that was a bit more of a stripped back, like jazz setup that I did. So that was probably my first band gigs, was those Christmas gigs. But with the setup we have today was my tour in 2024. And yeah, we had our first night was Glasgow, and it went down really well. It was great.
Yeah. I just wish I can go to those kind of gigs, like your tour gigs, because you do your shows here, but usually you don't put it on tour. Like you're touring, doing other places, London and everywhere else.
Yeah, we did the Cathedral show, but it's really special doing a tour and going to so many different places, because every night is different. Even though I play the same song, the same chatting between.
I mean, for you, it's the same. Yeah.
It is. Then sometimes it changes. Like if there's someone in the audience who says something funny, like
Yeah.
every night there's something different, or the sound's different, or someone. It's great. You never know what to expect, which can be quite daunting, but also it keeps it really fun.
What would you say is your current direction of music now? Because you haven't released a full album since 2024. I know you're writing music, but what can people expect coming?
So yes, I'm working on my second album at the moment, and it is quite different to the first. I don't know if it's just because I'm, changing musical like sort of tastes myself, and I'm getting
Yeah.
old, but there's definitely like a shift in tone. It's a bit darker and a lot less like. I'm trying to write another song like Sleepy Town or Perfect Storm that's a bit of a crowd pleaser because I'm writing some very sort of strange subject matter songs and quite dark songs, and I've gone a bit more. I wouldn't even say gothic, just a bit weirder, and I feel like I'm happy to do that because it might not do as well as the first album, but I really want to be true to myself and write what I'm like. The first album was the music that I was writing at the time, and now I'm like 10 years older than when I wrote those songs, so it feels natural to write differently. And look at the Arctic Monkeys, every single album they released was so different.
It's all different, yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of don't mind that. I think you might lose some fans, but you'll definitely gain some new ones from the new stuff. So the new direction, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm going to lose all my fans. They'll definitely like.
They'll come back, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah,
but
they will.
It's not like I've gone full on like Judas and I'm playing like heavy metal or something. Like I'm not going to let it take them. But yeah, there's definitely a bit of a shift, I'd say, to more towards the more like folk noir element of stuff.
Yeah. Look, but you're still trying to keep your music to like your own identity, to your own like belief of this is the songs. Yeah.
Whatever I write will always be me. So like that is what it is. It's my identity because I wrote the songs. And I think if you try and write a song that's going to please people, or this is a song that might get a Radio 1 playlist, or my fans are going to love this one because they like this, you can't be prescriptive because you never know. People that might not work. You might write a song that you ticks all the boxes on paper, but people hear it and go, something's not right there. It's got to be like from the heart. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. Like, you've been through a few like songwriting like workshops and that kind of thing. Like, how was it? And like, do you recommend that to like upcoming people who just want to do something about music?
Yeah, if people get the opportunity to go on like a co-writing residency or retreat, I'd definitely do it. I think it's really opened my eyes to not just to collaborate with other people, but seeing how other people work and learning from them is valuable because everyone has their own style of writing. Everyone's so different, but you can definitely pick up different tricks and it opens your mind. Sometimes you can get stuck in a rut and you work in the same way all the time, but I really appreciated when I did the Christopher songwriting retreat, I was very out of my comfort zone. And again, I hate doing things out of my comfort zone. I'm the worst. Like I'll happily just, stay in my own bubble. But that was the best thing I ever did because I was terrified of writing with other people. Like I say, I've not got much confidence in my own writing, but I got on with everyone so well and I learned a lot about myself and how I work and I've made friends for life and I've kind of continued my collaboration with a few of the people I met. So there's some songs on my next album that I co-wrote with people from that residency and I gigged with my friend Josh, who I met there in January. And it's been really nice having those relationships with other artists that they're so valuable, having like friends as well as collaborators.
Yeah. Especially in this industry nowadays, it's always changing. Every time you go back to social media as Instagram or TikTok or whatever, it every day is a different day. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. And like you could get really bogged down in how things are portrayed on social media, but having actual like real life friends you can ring up and go, do you want to write a song? Or what do you think of this? Do you think I need another verse? Like having those people to talk to is and especially when they're not in your team, because I can ask my team for advice, like my manager and agent, but of course they're gonna be slightly biased in a way, or they might not want to tell you the truth. Whereas when you've got people who aren't working on your album, they can be brutally honest or say,
they would just say like, oh, do this, or like this just doesn't sound right, or
yeah,
there could be.
It's like a fresh pair of ears.
Has anybody been like harsh on the criticism of your music before?
I don't know about harsh. I've definitely had criticism, and criticism can be a good thing. I think it depends how it's said. You need it to be constructive. Like if it's if something needs work on, what do you need to work on? And I've definitely had that, and it has been quite a blow to my confidence. But I've heard someone say before that like every time they get a nice comment on YouTube or whatever, they like screenshot it and put it into like a little folder. So whenever you feel a bit like down, you just look at those comments, because it's annoying the way your brain works. You always remember the criticism rather than the many compliments that you also get. So yeah, I've definitely had criticism, and like I say, it's hard to separate what's actual criticism and what's just people being nasty. And I do think you need criticism. You can't live in a sort of a bubble of adulation. You need people to tell you, actually, that song needs work. That's fine. And I do appreciate when people do tell me the truth about things. Like like I say with Andy, there was times when he was like, that needs changing, or and sometimes he would give his opinion on a song and I wouldn't agree with it, and that would be fine. Like I think definitely you need people to criticize you sometimes, but not in a way that's like, knocking you down. And that Andy was great for that. And my current manager, Henry's great. Like I do work with some brilliant people who really support me.
Yeah, which is good. Like, I'm going to go off topic for a second. This is going to be fun because I'm not sure whether you've seen it, but I've interviewed, I just interviewed Loren Heat a few days ago. Okay. And we were talking about the music video that you guys were doing. Yeah.
How that happened?
I want to hear your perspective on that.
Well, Henry, so we share the same manager. Henry put out a call out being like, need a female under 30 actress tomorrow in Middlesbrough. It was very last minute, and I was like, what's this for? And he's like, oh, Lauren's music video, Belladonna. We need someone who's like quite sultry and seductive. And I said, look, that's not me. That's not really the part I'd go for. But if you're desperate, I'll do it, because like, it's in 2 days or tomorrow, and you need someone. Like, if you do need someone, I'll do it. And Henry was like, yeah, we need you. And I think I said like, oh, I did actually get like 100% in my acting A level in the performance. So I was like, I'm all right actress.
I'm okay.
When I'm casting a role that suits me, when I was at school and like doing drama at school, I was always cast as the sort of like meek,
oh, fair, shy, yeah,
or the comic character, not the sultry like femme fatale. That was not me. And I even got to the music video and I said, why don't we swap roles? Why should I be the Loren and Loren should be the Belladonna? But I ended up being I said to Loren, what's this song about? And they said, Gay Panic. And I was like, Gay Panic?
Yeah.
I don't know what Gay Panic is.
I don't know what it means.
It worked out well. I think like, considering it was a very last minute thing, I think it was an all right job. I was trying my hardest. Like, there were scenes where we had to like kind of be flirting in the photo booth.
Yeah.
It wasn't that well, so I felt really strange, But I hope that Loren liked the video. I had a great fun anyway. It was a very fun day.
Yeah, she was telling me like, oh, it's so funny that she's doing that because she's not that kind of person. Like, no.
No, and Henry was like, well, if you're a good actress and you'll be able to do it. I was like, but I don't have to look. Like, have you seen my face? I don't look like I'm a seductress. That's not... like, we needed like...
Yeah. No, well, it worked out for you, and
it did,
that's fine. Yeah, I'm sure it did. What's your favorite musical of all time?
Oh, great question.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually have a list on my phone, my top 5, because it changes a lot. But I'd probably say overall, can I have a top 3?
Yes.
I'd say Jesus Christ Superstar.
That's great. Yeah.
Gypsy. Maybe I've got a top 5. Okay, we'll do top 5. Jesus
top
Christ
5.
Superstar, Gypsy, Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Singing in the Rain, and Sound of Music, probably.
Sound of Music, yeah. Sweeney Todd's my favorite. I love Stephen Sondheim stuff. Like, it just works. Like,
I saw it on stage in West End. It had Michael Ball and Mount Staunton, and I hadn't seen it before. I was like 13. I'd heard of it.
Yeah.
I was honestly like that. I still think about it to this day. Like, if they do a revival, I will definitely go see it. I love Sondheim, like you say. He's a genius.
Yeah.
The composition. I was watching the Olivier Awards last night, and they had a performance of Into the Woods. I've not seen Into the Woods, but I've heard the music, and it's just so complicated. And speaking of Sondheim, I went to when he passed away. I went to it was called like Old Friends, I think.
Yes.
The musical, like not musical, sort of a show with all the songs. And that was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah. You could say that that's one influence in your music. Would you say that?
I can't write as nearly as complex compositions as Sondheim, but it's like stuff like Sweeney Todd, it's very dark and quite gothic and weird, and I like those strange chord changes, like in the song,
Yeah.
Nothing's Gonna Harm You,
Nothing's
like
gonna harm you. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
essentially a love song, but there's some underlying tension in there, and I love
Yeah.
that with chords and melody, how you can have a melody, but depending on what chord you choose can really
Hmm.
change the feeling, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. That's crazy. And like, yeah. Met a fellow musical lover. So yeah.
Yeah, Sweeney
Yeah.
Todd.
And Sweeney Todd. Yeah. I stared at the Sunday in the Park with George. Just ah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it can become emotional looking at that because yeah. There was one song that um I was trying to suggest that to one of my like musical things back in the day, and yeah, they didn't take it. But
Really?
it's too complex for like 15-year-olds. Yeah,
And same with, like, Company, you know, you hear how,
yeah,
like
company. Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's why you don't really get a lot of, like, local productions putting on Sondheim productions, like, it's
No,
odd, but,
not
like
company as well. Like,
yeah,
company is crazy.
yeah.
All right, yeah, all right. Look, I want to talk about one of your songs. I want to talk about Sandra because I love it to bits. Because that song, the fun fact about that song is that you wrote it in 2 languages.
I did. So the original was in English and it was on the album, and because the titular character that it was based on was French, it felt right to release a language in her mother tongue, in
Yeah.
the language of her, her native tongue, French,
Huh?
and I speak French fluently-ish. I used to anyway.
Ish. Yeah,
So,
fair.
it felt like a really fun project to do and work on,
Mm.
and it
Uh,
showcased a side of me that not many people might have known about me.
yeah. But it's sort of like when you listen to it, like my viewers should go and listen to it. Like it's you go into a different world totally. Like it sounds like you're in the seaside. Well, seaside, I guess. You walk in and then you meet this person and you're the person's talking about their life and like that's how it feels like. Do you
Yeah.
feel the same? Like
Yeah, kinda. Like, it's funny, the song is obviously written about a person, but quite like metaphorical lyrics, so it's not always it's sort of strange, again, unsettling. Like I really when I worked
yeah,
with Paul, my producer, I loved the strings that start off that song. They're very
yeah,
like like sort of dissonant,
yeah,
and but then it kind of resolves, and that is almost like the life of Sandra, the woman. Well, she wasn't called Sandra, but Solange. Like that was
yes,
her life. It was sort of kind of tragic comic almost, there's like the light and shade and
yeah,
chiaroscuro, is that what you call it? Like the dark and light. So having that production on it where it's sort of the beautiful soft guitars, but then also like the strange strings that sort of come in and out, I thought was really cool. I really like
yeah.
that.
So cool. Like I get it. Like that's why it works so well with like your kind of music and your kind of like conceptualization of storytelling, that kind of thing.
Okay.
How did that story come about? Like, was it personal experience or was it just like, oh, I'm just gonna make the story about this today?
So it was, yeah, it was based on the true story of my French landlady who actually passed away yesterday,
Mm.
sadly.
Oh,
Yeah, and
that's
she was old, and it was really
yeah,
sad
sure.
that I didn't go and visit her, to be honest. I visit her every year, but just didn't get the chance this year. I was touring, I was gonna try and go, but I looked at
Hmm.
flights, like, recently, and it was just so with all the things going on, it was very
Yeah,
expensive. We did stay in touch for a long time, and we met a lot to each other, and basically when I moved to Paris, managed, like, through a friend of a friend to find it's really hard to find accommodation in Paris that's cheap
yes,
for, young people,
yeah,
and
young people, yeah,
she had a spare room, and she didn't speak any English, this old lady, and she lived with a cat, and they sort of said I could stay for, like, it was ridiculous, it was €200 a month, which in central Paris is, like,
crazy.
crazy.
No,
As long as I sort of helped around the house a little bit and sort of kept her company, and it was the best, like, 7 months of my life. I loved Paris, I loved living with Solange, and she told me a lot of stories about her life, and she had an abusive, ex-husband, and it was awful, but she kind of told me, like I say, it was like tragic comedy because that was a tragedy, but then she had
yeah,
ways of telling me how she got her revenge on him, and when he died, he only had one dying wish, and that was to be buried. Under no circumstance did he wanna be cremated, so she cremated him, and she always loved telling me that story with, like, a really
mm,
sly smile.
yeah.
So,
I
that's
smell.
what the story is about. Yeah.
Yeah, God bless her because she's not here anymore. But
Yeah, but
yeah,
she was a great,
yeah,
it's really helped me out, and it's nice that she can sort of live on, at least for me, through that song when I go to gigs and I talk about her life.
yeah, yeah, and especially now, like imagine like you make a song and the person's not here, and like when you sing it, when you're gonna sing it now during your shows, it's just it's gonna be totally different feeling.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, how, like, songs and art can immortalize people, and they do live on through that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
I've
yeah.
got a song called Please Go Gently, which is about my grandfather who passed away, and it's yeah, it does change when you sing it. Um, yeah, when I first sang it to now, you see different meanings in it as you get older and become more, like, mature and, get,
Yeah.
it's weird getting older and becoming more aware of how fleeting life is, but that can definitely make you a better writer.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, but do you think like, well, when you were younger, you were already creating music. Like, if you think about it now, would you think that that kind of music was mature enough, or like was is it does it? I don't know what word is it, but like, yeah, if you could
It's
read me.
definitely matured my songwriting, like you say, because it reflects who I was at the time, which was a 19-year-old girl. So I feel like now my lyrics for definite are more. I feel like I'm definitely getting as a better. I'm a better lyricist now, I'd like to say.
Mm,
I try to work my craft a lot as well. I read a lot, and I've always read a lot, but I read a lot more now, and I try to notice things more and watch more films and take inspiration from more things to try and be a better writer. But yeah, they're not like immature songs, but when you listen to my early stuff, you can definitely tell my voice sounds different for a start. It's like a lot
yeah,
higher,
of
but
course. Yeah.
yeah, right. Was in some ways it's better because it's a lot more innocent and like you write, you don't have any idea about how a song should be written or how it'll be perceived. So you write literally like from intuition alone. Whereas now there's a
Mm,
lot more voices in my head being like, is this going to work with the band? Are the audience going to like, is this going to be radio friendly? Is this going to be fit on the album? There's a lot more that comes into it, which can actually hinder you more than help you.
yeah. Have you written a song for somebody else?
No, actually, I'd like to do
Mm,
that.
yeah.
Well, kind of. I've written commissions for people, but I've not
Yeah.
written for other artists to sing. So I wrote a song for someone's wedding, and it was about the
Mm.
couple's life, and that was really cute. They used
Oh,
it
that's
for the first
great.
dance. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I wrote I work with a charity called Whip It Up quite frequently, and
Hmm.
I write songs with their participants, and we write songs about local history and mythology and perform them at puppet shows. So I've written like on commission like that, but it'd be really interesting to like write for another musician and them to like sing that. That'd be a really
Hmm.
cool project.
Yeah. Yeah. That, that's crazy, isn't it? Like songwriting is so like it's complex in a way, but it's so like natural as well for you. I'm sure.
It's not really natural, no. I have to
Okay.
really make myself. It comes natural to a lot of
Okay.
people. Like I know Robin. Robin can just like write. She writes songs every day, whereas I don't find it as natural to me as performing. I'm more.
Mm.
I think 'cause it comes from being like doing musical theatre. My natural thing is taking a script and being a character on stage and
Yeah.
performing to the audience.
Yeah.
Writing, I used to write poems and stories a lot as a kid, but writing music is something that I'm really working on and trying to do more of. I know I can write, but if I wasn't a musician, I'd probably write like 2 songs a year. I struggle to write more than that unless I really like
Yeah.
sit down. So
Sit
yeah,
down and yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And it's hard because you're not getting paid for it when you're doing it. Like, yes, you might
Yeah, of
get
course.
eventually, but it's not like you sit down for work and go, "Well, I'm making 100 quid today." Like, nah, you're doing it for
Nah.
nothing. So you
Yeah.
gotta love it.
Yeah. I mean, and you gotta own that kind of situation as well. Like you need to
Yeah,
own your sound. You need to own that. To be very honest with you, like when I listen to your music, it doesn't sound like anybody else's music. To be fair, yeah, that's so good. That's good because yeah, like it's
that's my aim.
that's your own music. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, Amelia means natural and
And I
and
think, like,
and
obviously there's influences in there, but I'd like to think that
yeah.
my voice is quite distinct. I love it when you hear a singer and you know exactly who that singer is.
Oh yeah.
Amy
It-
Winehouse or Morrissey. It's like there's
yeah,
no mistaking who that singer is.
yeah. For me, that's
I
you.
don't wanna sound like everyone else.
Oh, I know, but for me, that's you
Thank you.
basically. Like, but seriously, if a song plays in like YouTube or Spotify or something like that, and then it's your song, and I hear it, it's like, oh, that's her song. Yeah, let's go and listen. Well, sometimes it's either the sounds of it, but sometimes it's your voice that comes out when you're walking about and you're busy, and then that's her song. Let's listen in. Yeah, and you should be proud of that, because I know that's a lot of people would say the same thing about that.
Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you.
Oh, don't worry about it. How important is the visual element to your music as part of your like identity as an artist?
Really important. I think the visuals is, these days especially, a lot of people don't discover you from the radio anymore. It's a lot of it is social media and what they see, and first impressions count. And a lot of times I will look at an artist on Instagram and judge them from their pictures and before I even listen to them. And I think that is how it works for music fans too. It's if you look the part and look cool, it ties in. Obviously, you've got to have great songs. Like, you're not going to be successful from looking good or looking the right part. But I think visuals for me is very important, and I want to make sure that my photos reflect the sound. It's like a book. People judge books by the cover, and if you have a good cover, people are going to pick that book up. So I took a lot of time with the album cover and with my sort of the outfits I choose to wear for like photo shoots and all of that. I think about it, so it's not like a coincidence or a random decision. It's a lot of thought gets put into how I present myself. And, it's not like anything extravagant, don't get me wrong, but it's like with a band, I'm like, please wear all black, because that's how how it just works as a band like that. And just little things like that. I think it's very important to have a good visual identity and branding, as well as good songs.
Stuff. Yeah. Like, okay, let's take an example, like Stockton Calling. I saw the things that you guys were wearing, and it just fit amazingly. It sounded like, oh, this band's coming from Leeds, you know? It's like, oh, it's crazy, like.
Like Stockton Calling, we were all in black, I think. Maybe Robin had her own gig that day, so maybe not, but I can't remember. But for that gig, I wore like my red tights. I usually wear red shoes and red tights because I like the colour red. I think it's really striking, and also my red shoes usually hark back to one of my favourite films, Wizard of Oz. And then the black, and I quite like my Adidas because it sort of gives this. I've always felt a bit of a tomboy. I love getting dressed up, but I like that edge, and it's the confidence for me. The Adidas jacket is like, who do I think I am?
Who do you think you are?
Now then, when I walk on stage with my I wouldn't probably wear that for a solo little gig, but when I'm on the big stage, that is like what gives me my confidence. Like my friend says, clothing is armor, and it's so true. Like what you wear is actually, when you're talking about confidence, clothing is a big thing.
I agree with that. Like, it's so visual. Like, okay, so music videos, like, have you done music? Are you going to do more music videos, or are you going to do more like, what do you call it, lyric things?
I think, ideally, I'll do as many music videos as I can, if financially permitted. I love music videos. Like, it's my favorite part. I love, like I say, musical theatre and film and art, and I think the visual element is really fun. You can put your acting shoes on, you can really get creative and show what the song's about to listeners. And a lot of listeners love watching a video. I certainly do. I think lyric videos I probably end up doing for the album, because it depends how much money I've got, because it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money,
When I released Something Wild and my album stuff, I had a lot of funding. For example, so Something Wild, I had PRS funding, so I could actually afford to do
the stuff,
get props, and get people involved in that, and I really love doing that. So I definitely will try and do some more music videos. I've got some songs that I'm already thinking about that would I'm thinking of my album and what songs I will release as singles, and thinking that would make a great music video. Like my song Metamorphosis about becoming an insect. I'm like, I've got
I got a vision now.
I've got a vision.
Let's talk about Something Wild. Like, how did that conceptualize?
The video or the whole thing?
The whole thing in general.
The whole thing, it came about very quickly because I had this funding and I needed to use it, and I'm a bit of a faffer, and Henry was like, we need to release something, and I had Something Wild written. Me and my friend Nat, who works at a studio at Yawn and also writes and plays with Rhiannon Downey, and we wrote the chords. He had the chords he gave me, and then I kind of wrote the melody and lyrics on top of that, and then recorded it really quickly up at Blank Studios in Newcastle over the course of like a few days. And it was the first time I'd got, like, my band playing on the track as well, like, my bassist, and I hadn't met Robin at this point, but and Luke,
Mm.
drummer. And then it came together pretty quickly. I had a vision of what I wanted to sound, so we got Ruth Lyon, to play strings. Basically, she did all the it sounds like a quartet, but it's just her playing loads of instruments, like, overlapping each other from home.
Yeah.
With that kind of huge Serge Gainsbourg, Scott Walker orchestration, kind of like a Bond theme, more than a country song. And then the video, I planned that with my friend Natalie. She's like really artistic, and we kind of had this vision of a fairy tale in the woods, very Angela Carter inspired. And I wanted to show the sort of the way the song was written was about, well, the song itself is it literally could be taken as a woman turning into a dog or wolf at night, but it's more the idea of breaking free from the confines of
Mm.
their society and kind of domesticity. And that was shown in the video as me going to a tea party with a lot of wolves,
Yeah.
um, and eating cake and kind of just releasing that sort of creature that I feel like we have to suppress, especially as women in society. We can't be
Yeah.
messy, we can't be ugly, we can't be angry. It was fun
Oh.
to see all those things at once.
Mm. Yeah. And talk about motion as well. Like you can be so emotional with your music, and like, how do you show emotion when you're playing live? That's a question.
I don't know. I guess from my musical theatre days, I like to be able to. I look at the audience. I don't really often. I do close my eyes, but a lot of the time I'll like look out to the audience in songs and um try and portray my lyrics as if they were songs in a musical. So when I play Seesaw, I like
Yeah.
to word paint a bit, and kind of sometimes I'll do a little bit more like of a whisper if the song mentions quiet or yeah, I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of
And
examples, but I really think about how I'm going to sing the lyrics and perform them, and hopefully that portrays emotion. But I don't know, really. I don't know if I do.
yeah.
I'm saying all this. I might not. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Like
Hey,
it.
that's why the question exists, because you need to ask yourself questions like this.
Yeah, I don't really think about it. It's all very like I'm only thinking about it now. You've asked me, but I don't know. I just do my thing and hope that that comes across on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's important too, because like it's all about luck in the industry. I'm sure it is.
A lot of it, I think it's 50/50, 50% luck, 50% like hard work, and then if you have
Effort.
both
Yeah.
those things, that's when the magic
Mm-hmm.
that's like the kind of magic combination. But I think a lot of successful people I know put it down to luck, and I'm like, "No, it's not just luck, like, you have to put the
It's
work in."
everything.
I think you make your own luck, don't you? Like, luck
Yeah.
doesn't just happen. Luck is from chiseling away. It's like you could be lucky to find a diamond, but chances are you've been trying to find that, like, you've been hammering on that
Yeah.
mine for 5 years. So I think it's a bit
Mm-hmm.
like that. But sometimes people can I know so many hard workers who've worked on it for years and years, and they still haven't had that lucky break. And there's definitely that too. You can't just work hard. You do have to be in the right place at the right time. I
That
think
time.
that
Yeah.
is the sad thing. Yeah, it's annoying that
Yeah.
some people make it, and I'm like, why haven't they made it there like just as good? And that's frustrating. I think, especially when you're from the
Mm.
north, there's less opportunities generally. Um,
Yeah.
it's definitely better now than it was, but I do find it again like watching the Olivier's. It's just a recent example, but some
Yeah.
people without regional accents. So when what's her name? Is she called Julie? Julie Kavanagh? She's
Chili
the lady
coming
from
out.
Coronation
Yeah.
Street. She won the
Mm.
award, and she was the first person
Okay.
to speak that night with like a regional accent. She was from the Northwest. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Not like, I'm not saying you can't win if you're Southern, but it felt like a win for sort of more Northern and more like people from
Mm.
all over the country. It's not just people who live in London who can afford
London.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's a question as well. Like people from the northeast or from like south, like where I came from Portsmouth, and the people do music there. I mean, they're closer to London, but they still have to grind it. They still have to grind with their music. Like I know a band, Crystal Tides, they literally grinded it for like 2-3 years, and then they're doing a tour. But the tour's not that big as well. Like,
Yeah, it's a problem everywhere. Basically, if you're not in a big city,
mm,
um, it's hard to get momentum, if you don't have the venues or the contacts. But it's definitely like in London, I find that it's just everything's very London centric. So, for example, if I get on the radio and they want me to do an interview, I don't get paid to do the interview, and I don't get my expenses paid, and I'm not from a background that can afford the £200 train ticket and the £300 accommodation, and I have to do it
mm,
because if I say no, then I don't get the opportunity. But it's a shame that we can't have a radio station in Newcastle that's national radio. Why everything is in London. I think it'd be to like sort of diversify that a bit. But of course, it's the capital. I know we're not going to have like national centre in Middlesbrough, but that shouldn't be the way that for like creatives you have to move to London. And I think Teesside is doing a lot to help that with, the Tees Valley Artists of the Year Award and festivals. And like I say, I'm not being a Debbie Downer because there's so many great opportunities around here. But like, for example, the Brit School, yes, it's a free school to go to, but if you're not from London, how are you going to go to the Brit School without paying to live in London as a 16-year-old? Stuff like that. We don't have any Brit schools up here, and I would have loved that growing up. Something more vocational, but it'll happen.
Yeah.
My partner said I should open my own school, but I'm like, I don't have the money to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have the PRS Foundation, and you have like other things as well. Like, what would be your what would be your like idea or kind of thing to push to like this kind of big organizations to say like you should do this here like around the area?
I'd say like well, I saw it recently. I think having more we do have them now, but like like now the Globe, for example, the Stockton Globe's open, having venues in the local area, because before the Globe opened back up, to get on a big like touring would go to Newcastle or York or Leeds and we'd be skipped out, whereas now that has definitely improved. But I think like more support for artists. So we're very lucky that I was the first cohort of recipients of the Tees Valley Arts of the Year Award in 2024.
Yeah.
And that was a big pot of funding just to live as a musician. I think not the problem with PRS, I'm very grateful to PRS Foundation.
Yeah.
Get that funding. It's limited time and it's for a certain project. So that's not for you to live on. So like my problem as a musician is any money I make goes straight back out. So just say I made $5,000 in a month, just say.
In months,
I have $10,000 of expenses. I think it's great to get funding for projects, but the Tees Valley Artist award that I got actually paid me a minimum wage for the year, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me because it meant I didn't have to try and find like extra work and could actually work music and go, oh my gosh, I'm getting paid to do my job. I'm actually getting paid to be a musician. So I think it'd be great for the government to like roll out almost like a bursary for artists who aren't making money, because it's all well and good. Like, I need to work hard. It's like I work my arse off every day, Monday to Sunday, a lot of hours every day, and I don't make money. But it's like, how do you make money without the money? It's so hard. So that's a long way, but I think maybe more like assistance for creatives who are self-employed.
Yeah. This is a question. What's your most memorable gig that you've ever done?
That's a good question. Memorable, there's a few different ones for different reasons.
Yeah.
I think the one that was like my formative gig was probably Cambridge Folk Festival when I was like 19 in 2017. I got put on stage 2, which is like the second biggest stage, and there was a big crowd, and I'd not played a festival like that before, and I went down really well, and I didn't know I would go down well. I had no idea how I'd be perceived up there. So that was memorable in terms of like realizing that this is something I can do and do well. But then more recently, I'd say I love playing at the Royal Albert Hall. That was a pinch me moment.
Yeah.
Like, what a venue. That was special.
yeah, I'm sure it was, like, especially when you get your face out there, and it's like, that's a big face of me. Like,
yeah, when they had the billboard. Yeah, that billboard.
that's big.
I was on a billboard. Mad.
That's actually crazy. Like, okay, let's talk about like sport acts that are coming soon. Like, would you like to like tell us about that?
Yes, I'm supporting Rianne Downey. I don't know when you're publishing this podcast, but that'll be this month.
Yeah.
And then Catherine Priddy at the end of the month, end of April. Then I'm on tour with the Proclaimers throughout the summer and then into autumn, which is amazing.
Mad.
Huge news. Yeah. And then supporting Paul Weller in July, which is going to be a very special evening for sure.
That's good. Yeah. And you're doing all these projects, and then these things are just going to happen. So, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Just trying to keep it all going.
Yeah. When have you ever felt like time just passing so fast when you're doing things?
Yeah, every day. I'm actually worried how fast time goes. And like, it's actually, you shouldn't have brought that up because now I'm going to have a panic attack.
I'm so sorry.
It's fun. No, I think you get in a loop where I realize when you're younger, time moves slower because you've got all these new experiences.
Mm.
Whereas now I kind of wake up and I feed the cat and I sit at my desk and I do a walk around the park. And to be fair, I do tour a lot, so I do things are definitely kept fresh, but time goes a lot faster as you get older, doesn't it? So I'm trying to like slow time down and take more time to do my walks and go on writing retreats and go on holiday because I
Mm-hmm.
have a good excuse to do that as a writer. Like I need the influences and inspiration, but
Yeah.
time goes very fast. And it's mad to think like my album's already been out 2 years because for me that was like yesterday.
You said something yesterday. It's great because people still talk about it. I bought the vinyl as well. That was crazy, and it doesn't even have a case. It's just a
Oh yeah,
plastic case,
the
and
original
I was
had a
like,
case, but
yeah,
it's eco vinyl because it's so expensive
oh yeah,
to produce. Like when I first did the album, I had a case on it because I was producing them like en masse. We had like 1,000 to sell, and then when they sold out, I was like, I can't really put 1,000 records in my house.
yeah,
If I'm doing
yeah,
short runs, I'm just gonna do like sell the vinyl itself, which is a lot easier
yeah,
for me and
yeah.
cheaper for the buyer because then I'd have to charge £30. I can charge like £20,
Hmm. Yeah,
£25.
yeah, yeah. We own. I mean, to be fair, like, where would you like to travel?
Oh, so I've never been to Asia before, so I really
Hmm.
wanna do, Vietnam because
Yeah,
I feel like when I travel somewhere, it's for the scenery, the food, and the history, and I feel
yeah,
like it's got all of that, like
yeah,
great food,
yeah,
great
yeah,
well, not great history, but like interesting
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I'd like to go to, where else is on my list?
You should
Peru.
go
I wanna
to
try
yeah
Machu
Peru.
Picchu.
Yeah, you should go to Malaysia. By the way,
Is that where you're from?
promoting. Yeah, the
I've
food,
heard
the
is it,
food.
it's laksa Malaysian?
Yes,
I love
yeah.
laksa, so
Oh,
maybe
Lux is
that's
amazing, isn't
about
it?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Should go to. I'm from Borneo, from the top of Borneo. It's called Sabah, but yeah, there's so many good food, like, and the scenery, and like snorkeling is it's a huge thing.
I do love being by, like, by water and the sea, so
Oh yeah,
you've
yeah,
convinced me now. That's
yeah.
something I want to add to my list though, like, it's a
Yeah,
never-ending list.
I will share, but yeah, yeah. Like the seaside, you can literally walk for days in the seaside and just write songs maybe or do something. Like you should do something like go out somewhere and just like I'm gonna be here for a week or so and just write
Longer.
something
I'll go for a month,
longer.
write
Eh?
a whole album, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Or something anyways. Yeah, that's good. Like ooh, like would you like to play your music in other places? That'd be fun. I
Have
mean,
done,
if
yeah.
money permits. Yeah.
I've toured Europe a little bit, obviously my last gig, it was
Yeah.
in the Netherlands in March, and I've done, like,
Mm,
France and Finland and quite a few in Europe, and then we did South by Southwest Texas last year, which
mm,
was
mm,
insane, like, what an experience. I don't
yeah.
think I'd like to tour America anytime soon, but it was a brilliant time, and Austin
Yeah.
was very separated from, like, the general politics going on in America. It's
Yeah.
very
Sure.
so like, kind of, like, what's the word? Like, not
Uh,
conservative, you know?
no, it's very, very natural and
Yeah, like,
very
really
like,
friendly people and very bohemian, so I love
mm-hmm.
being in Austin, yeah, I think I'm gonna try and, like, at one point there's a festival in, Australia called the Port Fairy Folk Festival, which that's a dream festival for me to do. I've got a few friends who live in Australia, so I'd like to go visit them and do some touring over there. That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I mean, back home, I just heard that they used to have a very big like jazz-ish. They call it jazz festival. That they literally just brought anybody. Uh, yeah, no, seriously, they brought anybody until the funding stopped. And they're gonna restart it this year, and they usually bring people from like Brazil and from some other places. I might even recommend you that. To be
Yeah,
fair, I might recommend them.
I've got a few
It
jazzy
is a
cats.
track. It is a track. It is a track,
Fine.
but
I like long travel.
yeah, but yeah, it's so good. Like, it's how's your definition of success changed over time? Yeah, how or has it changed?
Because I've never really defined. I think success when you first start music is like, I want to get on the radio or I want to
Yeah.
sell CDs, but I've done that, so it's like you'll it's never ending. You
Hmm.
always want to pick up the next thing, which is good because you need to be ambitious. But
Sure.
success for me is just like, I think I've realized like sometimes I put a lot of pressure on myself to do certain things or get goals, but actually like getting a message from someone being like, I've been going through a really tough time and your music's really helped me. Like that for me is success because not many people can say that their work does that. I feel like, have you seen that sort of Venn diagram? It's like Ikigai. It's a Japanese thing where it's like Ikigai is
Yes.
it has reason to live, and it's like
Yes.
it pays you something that you're good at and something that you enjoy and something that the world needs. And it doesn't pay me, but I'm good at it. I enjoy it, and I think the world needs music. So I feel like I've got 3 out of 4 of those things, which is it's
Pretty.
pretty good going.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many of that diagram. I've seen the books as well. I never read, and
Yeah.
I used to love to read books, but I just have no time.
I feel like I feel like everyone's it's just if you allocate that time. Like for me,
yeah.
every night before I go to bed, I'll read for at least 10 minutes usually, and then I usually end up reading more. But I know what you mean. Like sometimes the last thing you want to do is like sit and read 'cause it feels quite like non-productive, when you've got stuff to do. But I think
Yeah.
hitting like 15 minutes, like for me, I have a lot of audiobooks. So if I'm on somewhere or if I'm tidying the house, I'll be reading or listening to a book. So I think
Yeah.
I'll always find time to get it into my day. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to go a day without reading, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, in my free time, I just listen to classical music.
There you
That's
go,
all.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I can't read. No, yeah, but it should be reading. Like my eyes
I know
can't look
some
at the
you don't have
screen forever.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I
Yeah.
think for me it's like breaking away from the screen, even though I do use
Oh,
digital, so I'm not really breaking away from the
yeah.
screen. But yeah,
Yeah. Exactly. Like,
I'm not brain rotting on TikTok. As long as I'm not doing
yeah.
that, I think anything other than that is great.
Like it's fun when you listen to somebody like, oh, brain rotting. Like that's not our word. Like crazy or doom scrolling or some
I feel
funny
like
words.
it'll enter the dictionary though.
Doom scrolling is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, a
It's
lot of
real.
new words especially since lockdown, like so many new words came about. I love how language evolves like that though. It's
Oh
fascinating.
yeah, crazy. Like, before we go, let's do some quickfire questions if that's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
3 words that describe your current season of life.
Season of life. Chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
uh, interesting,
Interesting.
and curious.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's very, very good. Something small that brings joy lately. Something.
Something small that brings joy. Good question.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like you say lately, I'm reading stuff like that, where things you take for granted for me, like going on walks, spending time with family and my friends and my cat. I think I over like the Christmas period, especially, like I kind of got into a strange headspace. Sorry, this is meant to be quick fire.
No.
Getting into
As long as possible. Yeah.
in a headspace where I stopped appreciating those little things, and I've really like I've been keeping a gratitude journal and like every day trying to list things that I'm grateful for. And it's like the sunset or like a really nice chat with a good friend, stuff like that is actually like that's keeping me going. Those little things.
Yeah.
They're actually big things, but they seem very.
No. Ooh, we talk about that like you see, this is not a quick fire question anymore.
I'm sorry.
But seriously, people create appreciation or gratitude posts just for the sake of doing it because I'm thankful of that. I saw the sunset. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, because you don't realize what you've got until it's gone, and like that's happened before where you really take a lot of things for granted, and I definitely have. So, yeah, I've been doing that a lot, and just little things have been bringing me joy like that.
Yeah. A habit you've been trying to build or break.
Been trying to build running because I do love running, and I haven't done it as much as I should do, and I'm trying to break the doom scrolling because it's got me in a total. I'm not a bored person, but the way they design the algorithm is insane. Like
It's amazing.
Yeah, like, my attention span is terrible. So yeah, those.
Not that. Yeah. All right. The most embarrassing thing that you ever happened to you.
I can think of 2 things. One was a formative memory when I was 5 years old, and it was my first stagecoach, that sort of drama club. And I went to sit down on the floor, and I sat on someone's head, and I just like my arm impaled their head. I didn't feel it. And the second was when I was at uni and I was coming home, and I went to put my banana in the bin, and I chucked my phone in there, and I needed my phone to get on the tray, and I had to like dive. I'm not even joking. My head was in the bin, and I was like, there was all sorts
Where's
of
the phone? Yeah.
the phone was like covered in I don't even know what. And everyone was like, "What is she doing? Is she like trying to scavenge?"
No,
Yeah, that was the two things that come to mind.
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm gonna share mine. To be fair, my phone fell into the toilet. That's the
Oh
worst.
no!
I just came in as well. Like, okay,
Before you'd been to the toilet or after you'd been to the toilet?
no, before.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
okay. But still, my
Just
phone gonna
water.
die. You know. It's just terrible. Yeah, anything. One more question. If someone listening right now feels that they're unsure about whatever in their life, like what would you like to say to them?
If they're unsure, I think that's a tough question because I'm
Mm.
like I'm the worst person for advice. I don't give good advice because
Oh,
I give good advice to friends,
you
but
can.
I don't follow it myself. But I
Yeah.
think just go with your gut on all things, and
Mm.
believe in yourself, and surround yourself with good people, and you can't go wrong. Take
Yeah.
away the social vampires and the sponges, and yeah, go with what is right for you and what you love, and you can't go far wrong with that.
Yeah. All right. I mean, this has been good today. Like, I really enjoyed our conversation, and like,
Yeah, it was a really interesting question.
I'm so excited to see other things. Like, you should come back around this area and do some shows in the future. Well, hopefully
I
you
will.
should.
I'll be back. Oh, sorry, it's very dark all of a sudden.
Oh, there are. Yeah, yeah. See,
Oh, there we go.
it literally is time to go.
Yeah, the sun has set. Everyone's asleep. But
Because,
yeah, I'll definitely be doing more. I'm announcing some Northeast gigs, hopefully very soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast, and like, it's so good. It's been a long time coming as well because we've all been busy. So
We have, but I really enjoyed it. So thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.